Hello Newcastle fans. Before we begin, let me ask you something very important. If you are truly passionate about the Magpies, subscribe to the channel now and activate notifications, because today we have a bombshell piece of news. Something that could shake up the future of our midfield, and you won't want to miss out when it all explodes. I promise what I'm about to reveal could completely change the course of the next transfer window. So stick with me until the end because nothing, absolutely nothing, is what it seems. Now let's go. It seems that a silent, almost strategic movement has begun within Newcastle United. A movement that could trigger a dominating effect within the squad and that directly involves a highly sought-after young European talent, and one of our best-known players, who may be living his last months at the club. Sources close to the club are sure that Newcastle is accelerating an approach to sign Keith Smith, a 19-year-old gem from AZ Alkmaar. A player that several European giants are closely monitoring. But, from what they say, Newcastle believes that the time to pounce is now, before the competition for this youngster explodes completely in the summer. But there's an important detail, and this is where things start to get really interesting. To make room in the squad and especially in the budget, because of the financial rules, Newcastle may need to release someone from the current midfield. And in the midst of Sandro Tonali, Bruno Guimaraes, Joelinton, Ramsey, Lewis Miley, one name is starting to attract attention for less than encouraging reasons. Yes, we're talking about Joe Willock. Although he was an essential player during Eddie Howe's time, the last 18 months haven't been easy. Injuries, inconsistency, loss of playing time, and Ramsey's arrival only pushed the Englishman further down in his career. And guess what? Crystal Palace is just waiting for Newcastle to give the first signal. The feeling behind the scenes is that, if the deal with Smith goes through, Palace will act quickly to try to sign Willock as early as January. This could literally be the trigger that ends his time in the north of England. Newcastle paid around £21 million for him, and wants to recoup almost the same amount to finance Smith's arrival. In other words, everything is connecting. Piece by piece, player by player, the domino effect is forming. And all that's missing is pushing the first piece. Now, I want to know from you, fan, do you think this possible arrival of Keith Smith is worth Joe Willock's departure? What would you do if you were in Eddie Howe's place? Comment below, I really want to know your opinion. And before you leave, subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, because in the next few hours there may be another bombshell involving Newcastle, and I will update you firsthand.